All right, we got a little snow last night. Yesterday, actually. But we also had a visitor last night. Like that little footprint there, that's not my footprint. Well, you can't see it now. It was in the yard. Some kid, we had to get the cops. We didn't know what was going on. See right there, it looks like he jumped over the fence right there. He come from that way, walking around our house, and there's tracks up there by the front porch. And it was I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of spooky. I mean, I was in the house with a 9mm because somebody was tapping on our windows and tapping on the walls. And when I called out, they didn't answer. So this is this kid's tracks here. So we called the cops. He walked around the house here, trying to figure out where he even come from. He walked down from the road, walked around here. I was sitting in that room with the windows, and he evidently was tapping on the window on this one, which yeah, see, he's looking in. You can see his tracks. Now this is where he went around. Because you only see one set of tracks. Oh, here's where he came in, right there. Come in right off that road. Our neighbors had footprints too. At some point, he went back up to the road. He took off. I think he's knocking on the front door. There, right there, his tracks goes that way. Or was that mine? That could be me from last night, because we called the cops. And, I mean, all I know is about 10:30 on a Friday night, Luann was in bed already, and I was in this room here, little TV room we call it, in there working on a laptop on some electrical plans for somebody, and that's when we both heard it knocking first. I don't know if he knocked, if he come up on the deck. He might have come up on the deck and knocked on the door. I looked out the door after I heard it and didn't see nothing. And then it looks like, I think he went down here too. Those are my tracks. I don't know. But then it's tapping on the windows, a couple different windows, or at one window, I guess. I couldn't tell where it comes from. Only one of my ears works, and so I have a hard time with direction. And anyway, I called out. I didn't get no answer. So, you know, we're not exactly secluded. These are all my tracks. My tracks from when I got eggs last night. And my tracks when I went to put them up, the Weedles up. So, anyway, yeah, it was kind of, at the time you don't know. And we've had druggies come here before. And those are my tracks. We've had druggies come here before, and they just get crazy. Our neighbor up the hill, he had one druggie actually walk into his house. He wasn't there, it was just his wife, and she told him to get the hell out, and fortunately the guy did. And then our neighbor was down here talking to us, so he went on up and confronted the guy. But Is this cat tracks? There's some tracks over there. Let's see what that is. Oh, wow. Let's make sure. That's my tracks from last night. After I put the wheels up, and then I went down, put the bus up. That's Mr. Biscuit's tracks. He always goes up there. One good thing about snow, you can see what's going on, but usually you're looking at animal tracks and not people tracks. But evidently this kid, I seen before I went outside, there was a car stopped up there on the road right at our driveway. And I guess that was the parents, and they evidently had a fight, and this kid took off. And our neighbors up there in this house, they had tracks. He's our retired law enforcement, and they had tracks all around theirs. They called this morning and let us know. And so he had a fight with his parents and took off, and then they was out searching for him. Well, anyway, so when we called the cops, and I seen a car stopping up there. Well, I didn't know this story yet, so, guys, bad people drop people off. They surveil to see if they can bust in, they call them back or whatever, and then their accomplice comes. Things like that happen, and this is the kind of world we live in nowadays. At the time, I don't know what's going on. You don't think it's a kid. And so then the cops got there probably about 5-10 minutes after that, and before he pulled into the driveway, there was a second car a little further up the road past them telephone poles there, and that he was talking to, I thought it was another cop. It was dark, 10:30 at night. I couldn't really see, just lights from the car, and he didn't have his emergency lights on. But anyway, but that was the parents, and they were still looking for him then. They explained to the cop what was going on. So when the cop pulled in, that car took off, and so I started telling the cop what all happened or transpired here, and then he was saying, well, there's a 12-year-old boy is out walking around, and the parents are trying to find him. They explained about the fight and all that stuff. And then as I'm talking to him, then the car came again, and so the car came again and picked up the kid back on the road. I didn't pick him up there, but stopped at my driveway again while I was talking to the cop, and they hollered down. I couldn't hear him, but the cop said they have the kid, and then they took off. And so I'm still figuring all this out as I'm talking to the cop. I wasn't sure what exactly was going on. He said about a 12-year-old kid. I'm thinking, well, yeah, that's coincidental, and that there's some guy still that was running around my house, and for Lord knows what reason. And anyway, so it was like a big deal for nothing. But the sad truth of it is, had we had a door unlocked and the kid come walking in, I mean, he's a big kid looking by his foot for being 12, but a kid come walking in, Lord knows what would have happened. I've got a 9mm with one chambered, worried that someone's getting ready to do harm to us. And so that's how bad situations happened, or could have happened, but it didn't, and it was an innocent thing, sort of. I don't like that the kid was snooping in our windows, but anyway, so that's the excitement on Crazy Cluckers Farm on a Friday night in February. So I just wanted to share that moment. Now it's on to do some chores. Got to get them weedles out. Bye.